Hello and welcome to Modern Toyfare Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at the Neca Ultimate Gargoyles Goliath. I know I'm a little bit behind on this one. I've had this actually shot and mostly edited for a few weeks now. It's just some other figures came out that unfortunately analytically made more sense to put the reviews out first, just because my NECA reviews seem to be real 50-50. Some of them, excel. Some of them are lucky if they even break like 20 views. So finally getting around to it. But as always, please make sure to like and subscribe for more toilet-related content, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for action figure photography and other toy-related news. But that's enough chitter-chatter. Let's finally go ahead and get at her. Alright, so let's take a closer look at him here. So you've got that big old growling face with the white eyes, all the wrinkles, the horns, the pointy ears, all of the sharp kind of jagged bone structure. The back of the head, you have all of this hair, which starts off really just kind of flat and smooth and goes down into all of the individual like strands. Looks incredible. They definitely made sure that Goliath is ripped. I mean, the amount of muscle in his chest and down through his arms and all the veins, even his claws, like, they did a stellar job. You can see all the different, like, notches in his bones and his fingers. And then even his loincloth, you've got some great texture there to make it look more of like a leather, even in the belt. And then down through the legs, again, all of the muscles and the shading going through and the kind of sharp lines. And then even down the feet where it gets a lot more veiny, and those big toes with the sharp claws on them. Even on the heel, you've got that little claw, and there's even a little bit of detail on the bottoms. Swinging it back around the other side again, we've got the rest of the loincloth, and then we've got this long tail, which is just very smooth, not a lot of texture to it. And of course, we can't forget about the wings. So you have the purple, which is nice and smooth, but then the black webbing has this great kind of like leathery, like very old bat-like texture to it. And you can see the veins and stuff going through it, even on both sides. So if you go on like the bubbled outside, you can see the light kind of shines a little more off of it. And you can see all of the kind of ripples throughout it. It really is impressive, the amount of detail they put into these wings. So they're pretty easy to go in and out of the figure. I had to take them out just because you couldn't get them in frame. It was a wingspan from one side to the other is just absurd. I got the wrong side here. Let me flip it around. The hair out of the way. You can see it's got these little pegs in the back, and you just pop them in. And for the most part, they stay in place. As for articulation, so the head tilts a little bit side to side, and then you can do a lot of down, but unfortunately the hair does get in the way of the up. And you can twist it side to side. You can kind of manipulate the hair a little bit to give you some more range, but not much, and then it does kind of shift forward and back as well. Arms go out to just under 90. Do have a bicep swivel. It does go all the way forward and back for the rotation. And then you do have the double jointed elbows, which they're a little tight because, I mean, it's a NECA figure, so they're going to be a little tighter than usual. The wrist peg, forward, back, spins all the way around. You get quite a bit of range out of that, which is nice, especially since he has those claws. You want to be able to be very kind of animated. The ab crunch, there seems to be two joints, and you can get a little bit of motion out of them, but unfortunately his loincloth is a little bit in the way at times. You can twist it back and forth. You can even kind of give him a little bit of a side swivel action. You do have the legs that go out just past, or just under 90 really. You have a little bit of a swivel at the hip, and then it goes pretty far forward. You do have the single joint knee, but it has that rotation on it, so you can definitely get a lot of different positions that way. Ankle goes forward and back and does have some pivot with the forward-facing pin. And then you have the toe articulation, which can twist and go forward and back. The tail does have a hinge in it, but it also has a bendable wire. It's a softer plastic, so we can get different poses that way. I'm gonna be honest though, you're gonna have to use it to hold him up once you put the wings on it, because these, as you can see, they do have some articulation to go forward and back, and a little bit up and down. But they are very heavy, so that tail will become a kickstand very quickly for you. And see, I'll show you here. On the back, you can get them down to about there before they start overlapping. And then at that point, it just kind of becomes more of a pain of trying to get them into position. Also, the more you work with them, they do kind of start to pop out of the back. You have to pop them back in. And at that point, you'll notice they get a little looser as well. All right, on to accessories. So you have the less angry head here. You can see still has a little bit of a scowl on there. You got the pupils in just a way so it's kind of menacing looking, which I like. Do wish they were a little bit lower just so you could get some normal looks out of it. But again, amazing sculpt on the hair. They did a fantastic job with that. Then you do have a pair of these fists, which do a great job with the nails and, or I guess claws. Then you have this kind of more of like pinching hand or like gripping hand. And then you get his book that he likes to read, which looks really nice. And then you do have the pepper as well. All right, quick size comparison. So here he is with the Neca Ultimate Black and White Frankenstein's monster. And you see he's a little bit taller than him, which is a pretty impressive feat in itself. And then after that, we've got him with the Mezco 112 Joker, which just, he towers over him. So you can definitely get a good idea of how massive this figure is. Speaking of massive, time to look at the box. So you have that incredible artwork. You've got the logo at the bottom, his name on the sides. You've got pictures of the actual figure, both angry and just normal. Top, you have Goliath and Gargoyles logo. Bottom, you have the artist names and the barcode. And then if we open it up here, you've got a picture of him, and then you've got that really cool like downward skyline view of the city. And then the back just has a bunch of promotional pictures of him doing different things. So really, really like the artwork on the front here. They did a fantastic job, but my God, is this box massive. Okay, so I loved Gargoyles as a kid. Like, that was one of my favorite shows. I had all the figures of all the characters. I even had the weird VHS board game thing that I'd watch all the time. And this takes me right back there. I love it. I love that NECA got this license. I love that they've kind of evolved it into this more adult collectible from what it started out as. And man, can I not wait for them to get further in this line. I really hope that they don't continue this like one at a time trickle, or if they do, that the distance between figures is a little shorter, because I cannot wait to just have a shelf that is overflowing with gargoyles who all of their wings are just in the way and making it so it's harder to display them. But I do know they seem to be planning to do like the winged capes where it's like folded over their shoulders instead. So a lot of them will have to probably be displayed that way, because the wingspan on this guy is absolutely insane. I don't know how I'm gonna fit him on my shelf, but I love every second of it. So keep it up, NECA. I'm sorry it took me so long to get around to reviewing this figure, but as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Goliath. Did you pick him up on the first run? Did you pre-order him on the second run once they announced some of the new figures? Or are you still on the fence for some reason? To which I say, don't be. It's amazing. Get on it. Go pre-order it. Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, wherever. I don't care. If you're a fan of the Gargoyles series, you need these figures. Simple as that. Make sure follow us Instagram, Twitter, TikTok for action figure photography and other toy-related news. And hopefully we will see you next week. Same toy time, same Toyfare channel. Thank you for watching.